All right, we'll all stand, say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morgan Township meeting, March 27th, 2018, 7 p.m. And if I can get a roll call, please.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
All present.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the Morgan Township Board of Trustee minutes from March 13th, 2018 as written.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion to approve the warrants from March 14th, 2018 through March 27th, 2018. Warrant number 201-2018 through 229-2018 and 231-2018. Warrant number 8415 and warrant number 8446 through 8470 for a total of $57,619.76.
I will second that.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, do we have anyone from the audience that has anything tonight?
Chris Brucker, Monster Computer Solutions. I wanted to ask the board if we could get a PO for the new air conditioner for the computer room over here in the administration building. The previous one, the bearing had gone out, so there wasn't anything we could do to replace it. I've priced a couple different options. They range anywhere from, like, the low end is 300, the high end is 500. So I think we'd end up somewhere in the middle, like $400, $450. For, it's basically a portable, like 12,000 BTU air conditioner to replace what we had in there previously.
Does that go through the wall, or does it sit outside and get piped into the?
It sits just right in the room, and the exhaust goes out outside, and then it's piped to drain.
Okay.
But
From
it's-
the dehumidifier.
But it's designed to protect the electronic equipment in there. So I'll make a motion for Oxford Computer Solutions up to 500 to replace the portable air conditioner in the computer room.
Second?
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Abstain.
I just wanted to give an update on the fire station locks. I have them in, they're all programmed with all the fire department staff and most of the administrative officials and the road crew. We just need to schedule some time to get those installed, but they are all programmed and ready to go. I think that's it for me. Any other questions?
Okay. Outstanding.
You are working on looking into different options with this?
Yes, so I drew up a plan of both rooms. I kind of just laid it out as one big room, and I submitted it to 3 different audiovisual vendors just to get their ideas on what we could do in this space. They came back with a preliminary recommendation of, I thought about a TV on that wall versus the projection screen that we have now, and they said that given, how far back people would be seeing
Rob, not to put you on the spot, but have you talked with,
Okie and Hardwoods?
Zawalski's? Yeah, it's about the extension of the,
Called him several times and not heard anything back from him.
okay.
Okay.
So we want, before we do anything, we want to make sure that gets in, so we incorporate whatever we do for microphones on the new edition.
Right. Another option that I was considering is, as far as people that would project to the monitor, have multiple connections throughout the new desk, so that regardless of where you're sitting, you could be close enough to plug a laptop in, and you can see the screen that you're actually working on, instead of having to have it somewhere off in a distance, you know, and be watching the projector to kind of control it. So there's lots of different options there, but you can, there's, you know, a low end that you can kind of get in at, which I think is sort of where we're at now, and then you can really, you know, take it over the top. So I imagine we'll settle for somewhere in the middle, but I don't know what that middle range is yet.
Are they gonna give you a price to put those connection ports up here for the laptops?
So the connections, you know, I could handle putting those in with the existing cabling that we already have.
Yeah.
It would be how it feeds into the overall system. So if we got a new projector, and if we did something with the microphones, that would be the part that we'd have to figure out, is how to incorporate that all together.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for looking into that.
Anything else?
Anyone else from the audience tonight? If not, Mr. Marshall.
All right. The first item on my report, the zoning and BZA combined meeting was held last Wednesday on the 21st. We made a lot of progress. We do have a definition of business, and we worked on five other definitions, okay? When we've completed all the changes in the definition article, the zoning commission will submit them at that time to you guys for approval, and everything else. We're not at that point, so that we can do it all at once as we progress. And that's probably and most likely how we'll do each of the articles in terms of the changes that we'll make over the next year to a year and a half. We hope to get the definitions covered by the end of our next meeting, which is April the 18th, 2018. Also, the residents at 3660 Millville Shannon have filed for a variance. They desire a metal garage that is 26 by 40, and they're asking to put it on a lot of existing record that has the wildest looking shape that you could possibly imagine, and everything. And they're asking the BZA to allow this new building to be placed 2 feet from the right side property line. And their hardship is that if it's not allowed, the building would be over the current septic system. This hearing is scheduled for the 26th at 2018 at 7 p.m. here in the administration building. I'm in the process of identifying, well, they've already identified all the neighbors. I've been in the process of putting the letters together that will go out next week for the announcement of that meeting to the residents who are involved, those people who whose lots touch this lot there. I also received from Jack Grove today, number 3, the information we sought from Three Valley Trust. The spreadsheet, which is attached, or which is part of my exhibit, okay, shows all of the acreage that is now under the easements for Three Valley Trust. On this spreadsheet, it gives the parcel number along with the acreage. And if you note under the acreage column, although it didn't print, darn it, I didn't capture it. I thought it did, okay?
It did on the other one you had earlier.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't capture it when I went back to put it all onto one sheet. Plus it has the name of the owners, the current landowners, the current owner's mailing address, along with the easement address, if that was different. And Brett, I did look on the map that we had from last week, or last meeting, and the number that was there that totaled here, which was 2,000,
900.
I should go get one of my other copies.
I think on the one here it was 28 something, the other one we got was 2,900 something, but all the numbers are a little bit different of the total acres. Yeah. So I think this one was 28 something.
What I added up from something came to 29 something. I don't remember where those figures came from, but,
None of them are the same.
oh no.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. They gave it to me, but. Oh.
I'm not really good at forging signatures.
I would like to hear.
I apologize.
You got the one
The total is,
Jacob for that class?
the total is 2,827.6553 acres. 2,827.6553 acres. And if you will check your map, and you'll see that the total down on the map that I gave you last meeting is exactly the same.
Okay.
And if you want to see that, it's also in my office. I framed it and put it up above by the window there.
Okay.
All right? If you have anything else for me.
Did he also send, if there was
I
any,
was-
okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
At this time, Jack has, has not received any information about any pending easements at this point. Did not come forward at this point. Jack has also reissued a letter requesting that. And there was one other piece that Jack told me.
The signatures of any,
Oh,
from the trustees or any,
right, yeah, he
any
said that he has
township
not heard
official?
back from that question at all. Okay.
Okay.
Those last two pieces, no word has come forward.
but he's pursuing it.
All right, and he's
Yes.
still pursuing those.
I thought that when you read the bylaws of Three Valley Trust, it had to be a minimum of 5 or 10 acres. There's at least 3 parcels on here that are less than 10.
No, there's the
Three.
Foley's, which is 5.
Yep, and there's the one right below that,
All
which
right.
is Ed Teets at 7.
Mhm.
And there's also a Fenwick for 9. Just a question that maybe we could ask.
Also, I seek approval to use the Morgan Township logo as my letterhead. Is that okay?
I'm good with that.
That's fine. That's the way we're headed.
Anything else for Dale?
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Mr. Brown? Oh, Daryl?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, when you were here, Dale, you had a minute statement, you said you were gonna go to, there was a new building being built in this neighborhood about 4990, and you said you were gonna go out there on Thursday and take measurements on that?
I have,
And I know the owners, you know,
okay.
and they're wondering what's going on, nobody's contacted them, don't know what's going on.
At this point, I've had other things that happen, and I've focused on the variance first.
The only thing is, he's building his building, he's in the middle of construction.
I understand that, Daryl.
Doesn't he
he has permits granted by Butler County. He also has a certificate granted by the township. But in the process of that, he's not in compliance to the road setbacks.
You're saying he's not? Well, now,
Not that I have measured them yet, but just from general, he submitted, he submitted, okay, he submitted a plan which, as far as I can tell, was to go over the old footprint of the building that existed before he tore it down. In doing so, in building the building that he's currently gotten framed, he's not over that footprint, he's beyond it.
but it doesn't matter, he's within, that is a building.
That is a violation, though, of,
No. You're saying it's in the residential or agricultural
no, I'm saying it's in business.
business. And
It's in the business district.
You're allowed 25 foot?
25 foot from the edge of the road right-of-way.
Well, he measured that, and he told me he's around 40. So, don't you think before you let the guy, you get head over heels into the building, we can go down, that should be a priority.
It is on my priority list, Darrell, but I've got there was the others that topped it, okay?
Okay. Then are you making tear the building down and have to resort?
No, that is not my intention, okay?
Well, I'm just saying.
And I'm not going to express that intention
He
now.
doesn't know what's going on. He spent a lot of money and built it in his building. He thinks he's in compliance, and Butler County told him he's in compliance, but, and we say he's not. So I don't know if he is or not. I'm just,
Well, he changed, according to the regulations, he isn't in compliance if he made a change to the footprint and failed to report it to the zoning commission or to the zoning administrator. And that is my understanding.
but he didn't do that. He contacted Butler County. That's
No, he needed to also come to the zoning administration here in Morgan Township.
Did he not get a permit from us to originally?
He got a
construct
permit,
it?
and on the permit, it says that the building was going to basically follow the footprint of the current building, of the building that existed. Okay? Now he's extended it out beyond that footprint, which is a change in plans.
he told me he's on it, so one or the other, I don't know. But I just want somebody to go out there and check on the guy, so, before he gets too far along, that's all I'm saying, All it takes is some evidence, David, we can go out there and find out.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Darrell.
okay.
Mr. Brown?
Before you, I've given you 3 proposals, one from Butler Supply, A&E door and window. And I'm ready to draw one for you. That is not one that I want, is not the other individual. I've got a third company that I owe you a quote for. I'll go ahead and give you these 2, and I'll finish my report, and I'll go get that third one. But, A&E door and window, you read down through it, they state what they're gonna put a,
Why don't we do this? Why don't I go to Jeff, you go get that, and then I'll come back to you? Instead of doing part of it now, part of it later.
copy of something else that I need to bring to you, and I realized I didn't get that third one copy.
So we'll,
3 bids for that doors, both those doors down there.
all right, you can go get that. Mr. Galloway?
Okay, first thing will be the administration report. First thing you'll see, Butler County Auditor's Office, Mapping and Imaging Program Overview. So you'll see in the left-hand packet, Butler County has hired an independent company, Tyler Technologies. They're going to start April 2nd, next Monday, going to do digital and photography imaging on all addresses in the county to update the auditor's plans and their things at the auditor's office for future stuff that they're doing in their mapping and GIS. So if you look, there's 2 press releases from them, and then if you look, I've actually printed the pictures of the vehicle. There's going to be 2 of these white vans that are going to be going down every street very slow. They're going to be pulling into private driveways, down private roads, getting this data. So in your packet also, when I put some on the desk, I did for Morgan Township a press release that, Tom, if you would like, and Chris, to get it on our website. I've already kind of sent you the folks that as well. Okay, and it just basically explains what the program is. They're going to be out doing this for future tax appraisals, things of that nature. They know they're going to get calls for suspicious vehicles and things like that. So just putting a heads up to the trustees if you get a call on it, as well as putting it on our website and our Facebook pages that they're out doing that. Okay?
Yep.
Next, just, oh, sure.
It'd be beneficial to put a sign out front, put signs out to everybody's and say, if you see a white van, it's okay.
Oh, on our bulletin board? We can do that.
It's not okay.
What's that?
What if it's not okay? What if it's not okay? I'm gonna plan to rob you next Friday in a white van.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, a white van could be, yeah. So, yeah.
So, that was on tape, I'm not gonna rob you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're robbing yourself.
Yeah.
I kinda do that all the time anyway.
And it's very possible, because this initially went out to law enforcement, that once they know it, and Morgan Township starts first, so when they catch it in Morgan and Riley and then they see the pattern, it's on their website of what the pattern is through the county, that by the time they get to later counties, somebody may just scam it and do that. I don't, who knows about those types of folks. So, next, number 2. So we've discussed this a couple of times, and I just kind of want to get some feedback from the trustees. We talked about an Employee Appreciation Day since we kind of canceled the Christmas. May 20th is looking really good for planning purposes. It's a Sunday, 11 to 4. It'll be also, as Trustee Kolb had mentioned, to zoning board folks and things like that as a roundabout for all of the township folks to see if you still want to move forward on May 20th. You don't have to commit tonight. Just send me an email back if those dates still work for you. And we talked about, the bounce house for the kids, for the family members, things like that. And then we can talk about the food at a later date. But I'm kind of just playing that May 20th date out there now for see where the trustees are on it. Okay. Any township administrative questions before I move to fire? Okay.
Chief, a
Yes,
quick
sir.
question.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, we had a lady here that was talking about the Morgan Elementary School walk.
May 5th?
Is that?
May 5th, yes.
Yeah, where are, I forgot to ask that night, but where are they going to be walking to?
So they leave Morgan Elementary. They go south on Chapel. They turn right or west on Alert New London. They go down to Race Lane, and then they U-turn and come back. And that makes 2 miles, and I think they do it twice, and that gives them their 5K. So between Morgan Township Fire and then Rob and his folks and Sheriff's Office, we block the intersection here of, we block coming into the school. And then we or the Sheriff's Office, whoever, we put the plan out, blocks Chapel at Alert New London. We block Chapel coming up from Alert New London as well. And then we block, usually Rob and I go and block Race Lane at Alert New London. They are walking there, and we just reroute the traffic for that, what is it, Rob, like 2 hours, I think, that they walk that. We also put a squad in case somebody gets hurt, goes down, or any injuries. We put a squad at the school, and then we have radio contact throughout the whole walking path of anybody that's injured or needs help.
Do you have an idea how many people will be walking that day?
Oh, Rob, they.
Okay.
There's several hundred, 300 or 400 people, yeah, that walk that. A lot of them push strollers with their kids in it, and then you have the high school kids.
Maybe 50 or 60 that run it, but there's 300 or 400 that walk.
Walk it, yeah.
Okay.
May 5th, and it starts at 9. We usually get over about 8:30ish and set our stuff up. So, yes.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Okay, so on the fire report, number one is a motion for firefighter paramedic Kyle Temple, his 1-year anniversary effective 4/8 of 18 at 30 cents an hour to a raise of $15.80.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Motion carried. Carol, what is our resolution number?
36-2018.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number two is a motion for firefighter EMT Jeff Maddox, his 1-year anniversary, effective 4/8 of 18 at a 30 cents an hour raise to a raise of $13.80 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Number 37.
Thank you. Just to put on your agendas, we're now going to be one of the lead agencies with Ross School District. We're doing a full-scale mock bus crash mass casualty incident here on June 6th, which is a Wednesday. They actually have a surplus bus that we're going to roll over out here in the back and moulage 40 kids. We're going to do our MCI, us, Ross. We're going to invite Riley, Crosby, Harrison, and some other jurisdictions that would be coming to that. We're going to be doing the MCI part of the county plan where we're going to go through triage them, bring them out, do the whole triage plan. Once we do our piece, and we'll probably bring a helicopter too in here for effect because they're actually going to bring bleachers over and they're going to have all their school bus drivers come here and watch the whole exercise. The part that Ross is doing for their concurrency with the state emergency plan for schools is they have to do a reunification of students with parents. So once that happens, then they're going to do a reunification of those kids back to their parents at some designated point within the township. So that's going to be their half of the exercise. They've graciously asked us and Ross if we would do the first part of it with an MCI part and a surplus bus, and we said absolutely. So that's going to be June 6th, and we'll have more details, but I just wanted to let you know that in case you heard any things from the Ross superintendent or school district about that. Lieutenant Galloway, you want me to do this or you want me to do it? Okay. Any questions for me? I do not have any executive session tonight, and that's all I have before Lieutenant Galloway comes up here about one pub ed thing. Nope. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had some education opportunities for the fire department. About 3 weeks ago, we had a class here where we did the surgical cricothyrotomy airway class, which we did last year. We do it every year, so we keep our skills up. It's a skill that we rarely do. As a matter of fact, most paramedics have never, ever, nor will they ever do one. I, however, have done 2 in my career, and it was something that was very necessary for our young man that had the pole. So we're definitely keeping current on this training for us. We did it about 3 weeks ago. We had Kettering Hospital come and do it. This Friday, we're going to be doing a class here for the fire department, trauma triage and traumatic cardiac arrest by Dr. Calhoun from UC, who is graciously coming up to do it. I got this as a free class from their foundation. We've also invited all the surrounding departments should they like to come. On April 10th, we're going to be doing a CPR and Stop the Bleed class for the Shandon Congregational Church at their facility for about 20 people. And on April 12th, we're having, I'm not sure who's coming to do it quite yet, but the Butler County MCI class, monthly casualty incident class. We're doing that at our department on April 12th, which will tie in directly to the bus event. Thinking about that, the bus event. Other than that, I think that's all for me, unless anybody has anything. Nope.
No. I've
Good.
got one thing for Chief. Could we get that date for the mass casualty out to Journal News and maybe Karen Johnson from WLW, just to get some press time?
So that was mentioned at our meeting with the Ross School Districts, and the superintendent is kind of turned that over to their PIO and their public information folks at the school to kind of be the lead on that. So we have like, I think, 2 more planning meetings before it, and we're going to see where they're at on that. I suggested that because they'll also take raw video, and any raw video that they take, they'll usually give it to the entities for training. But I think they were a little cautious about what was going to be put on TV and faces of kids and all that, to kind of have their PIO and their folks reach out to it first. So, yeah. And I would just say from the board up front and the folks in the back, this is not a secret, but it's also not like trying to be real public knowledge. So if you just kind of keep it within yourselves, we all know it's going to be there. They know it's going to be there, but we don't want it to be, everybody knows it so much that it's scripted that it's not going to be anything meaningful or purpose. So, so it's in the planning stages, and we're going to do it. And I just want to let everybody know that it's going to happen. It ties into some of our other training, but it's just not something we're going to put in the journal news right now until we get closer to that diamond date. And we know that we're going to have to put numerous signs out on the both roads and exits that we have that we can get from EMA that say training exercise ahead and all, because the minute you see a school bus overturned and helicopters flying over, 911 is going to light up. So we'll do probably use EMA's reverse 911 and put a message around out to this area that there's a training exercise going on that day and that time, just so we don't have that chaos, what usually happens for exercises. So, yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, go back to you.
Sorry about that. It's the third. Just a quick overview. I got three estimates from Windows Tech, Blue Ash, AE Door out of Cincinnati, and Bushman Supply also out of Cincinnati. I'm gonna start with the most expensive one, which is Bushman Supply. They will furnish labor and material, take out 2 existing doors and frames. They will install 2 doors and frames. They're metal frames, metal doors. They will coat the inside of the frames with Rust-Oleum truck bed liner to help slow down any rust. That's one of the things that we noticed on the existing frames that are there. There's a lot of heavy rust forming on the frames. When those were installed, they don't believe that there was any type of rust inhibitor put on those when they was put in. They said that's something they do on every metal door that they install. They put a rust inhibitor on before they paint them. And then you see the 16 gauge frames, the 18 gauge doors, 1/4 laminated glass. They'll use the existing locks, new hinges, 2 heavy duty door closers, because the one thing that is different than what is there now the doors open inward, and that is, I don't know how that was ever passed with Butler County Fire Code, because that would make it, if there was a fire or some sort of emergency and people are trying to get out in a hurry, they're pushing against a closed door that won't open. You gotta pull it open. If you got people pushing, you can't get it open. So they're gonna put these doors in to where they open outward. The existing handles will work because they're just pushed down, shut the doors out. And I had them, told them that I wanted heavy duty closers on that. That way if a strong wind was blowing, then doors would still pull shut. So that's what that is. His price for the 2 doors is $6,055.74. You go to the next expensive one here, which is AE Door, and there's quite a big difference between them and Bushman Supply. They're putting in, they don't give the actual gauge of the metal frames and doors. They're just saying 2 metal frames and doors, tempered glass, insulated double pane, which is a little different than just the laminated glass of what Bushman is giving.
say before, one of them was gonna dig out and put concrete down below where it was going to be?
Back in behind it, that's what the guy from Bushelman had told me that they would do. Was gonna put concrete in behind the frame when they put the frame in.
Or didn't we have a problem with the raise and lower of the concrete? But that's gonna change when they move the door out, is that correct?
It's gonna change.
Right.
Because the door will be moved out, it will be in where it's at now. But they're talking in behind the frame.
Right,
The door, here's the inside that you walk through here, that back between the frame and the wall.
behind the metal frame.
They're gonna put concrete behind there. I don't know exactly how they're gonna do it, but that's what he said.
So does Windows Direct have any kind of rust inhibitor on their metal frame?
They did not say.
AE's a wooden frame.
He used a wooden frame with a metal door.
And if you have flooding, that wooden frame's gonna get soaked and then that's gonna rot. Cause we've had water in that building before, correct?
Correct.
On the Bushelman, that's not an insulated door? It's just hollow? Am I reading that right? Hollow metal frame, hollow metal door.
Daryl's got
That's
a
what it's
question.
saying.
Hmm?
Daryl's got a question.
Yes, Darrell.
Hey, I was just wondering, Rob, maybe would a person wouldn't bother you to maybe call A&E Door and see if they price the metal frames and then see what the difference is between.
Well, I specifically asked for metal frames, metal doors, and AE Door doesn't have metal frames, they don't have a metal door. That's what they told me.
They've got
I
them,
specifically said that I want metal frames, metal doors.
They only have wooden frames.
That's correct.
Dale, how did you, or, Rob, on this Beamers, the last quote that you got, you said you came up with $3,000 for the door on the Beamers piggyback sales?
Beam,
That's
that's
something else.
That's for something different, I'm sorry.
he
That's-
misprinted that one.
I misprinted
Oh.
that one. The Windows Direct, the AE Door.
The
and
Beamers was for the
Bushelman
truck
Supply.
bed.
I'm sorry, that Beamers is
So you just got just two bids on the doors, right?
Three.
AE Door,
Oh.
which is the big long one. Did I not give you that?
Yeah, I got it.
Windows Direct is a long one.
I'm sorry, that's my bad.
No problem. And they all came out and they looked at the doors.
That's correct.
Right.
All three come out, looked at the doors, measured them, and I told them the exact same thing of what I wanted.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason why I picked Windows Direct, AE Door. I just found three different door people and asked them to come out and give me estimates.
So is it, the Windows Direct doesn't mention anything about a glass window, is their door solids?
No, it's a glass door.
Were they able to show you any demos or pictures or anything that helped you try to influence you one way or the other?
No, not really. I mean, Windows Direct did give me a brochure, but it really doesn't, what I gathered from this Windows Direct, they're more of a residential door company and stuff, from what I gathered.
Yeah.
But they put as a quote together, I'll be quite honest, they didn't really impress me very much when they was talking and stuff, but I mean, they gave me a price. But I think they're more of a residential door. AE Door kinda struck me the same, but they said that it was a commercial door, cause I told them this is a commercial business and even though it's a community center, it's a commercial building, it's not a residential building. And then they give me this stuff here. Bushelman is
Plus they're putting that concrete in there, that's gonna make it a lot more secure.
Did they put that concrete work into the bid, or is that a verbal?
That's just a verbal, what he said they would do, but, I mean, from what, the way he talked and the price he's got, I mean, they're doing a whole lot more from what, just based on the price and what everybody else is doing. Cause he
Yeah.
said that there's a lot more that he's doing behind the frame, and the others are just putting it up there, tacking it in. He's gonna make it more solid,
Okay,
what I gathered from him, so.
okay.
I mean, the others kind of gave me the impression that they was just putting them in like a residential door, you know, they
I think
put a
you're
wood
right.
frame in and they just tack it in, or however they do it, so.
Well, I think what we probably would need is to get that in writing. If that's the true story that they'll do for that price, but, if that's the excavation work is gotta be at least worth $1,500 or so.
I don't know if they're gonna be doing any
excavation?
excavation.
Well, don't they have to dig out? You said they're gonna put some concrete
No,
into
it's
the.
behind the door frames.
Norwood Hardware, they install doors, and what they're talking about there is a slurry in door. They actually pump concrete into the frame,
Okay,
and that's, is it a concrete opening?
yes.
That's what it's for then. It's a slurry in door.
And it makes it solid.
It would go around the, it
No,
would,
you'll put two holes in the actual jamb itself of the
Yeah.
door.
And they
Yeah.
pump
And
concrete out.
probably put a couple anchor points in there, and then concrete will grab the hole. But Norwood Hardware will probably give you better.
so it's kind of it's being supported by the surround. It's not being carried by the footer that
No.
should be there, right?
Nothing to do with that whatsoever. It's concrete that gets, it's a slurry that gets pumped into the jam.
That,
Okay.
I mean, he didn't say pumped into it, but that's gotta be what
It
he's
is what
talking
it is.
about, cause,
Yeah.
I mean, none of the other two talked about
There
doing
you
that,
go.
so I mean.
We got an expert here.
I take it you're Dwayne, right?
That's my guy.
Is this something, is this the type of work you do, or is this
Yeah.
too small?
No, we do.
Would you bid on something like this?
Sure.
Why don't we do that? Now that you know what the other bids are.
I know what you gotta be. I didn't even think of calling you Dwayne, I'm sorry,
That's fine.
just wasn't I don't deal with you all the time, so I didn't even think of it.
But I would try Norwood Hardware anyway. They're very good.
Yeah, cause I think you only got one commercial door.
Right.
The wood frame you do not.
No.
Good call.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing, now this is where you need the beamers thing, is the number one dump truck. We, not the last time, we didn't have it the last time we went out, which was Saturday. It was the time before, we, was out, we brought it back and had the bed up in the air, and it was just hydraulic fluid was pouring out of the cylinder. And, I took it down to Beamer's, not only for that, but also there was, on the headache rack, there was one of the, flashing lights, the bracket that holds that in when, Koffenbarger truck built the truck. They welded that bracket in to hold that light, but that whole bracket has literally rotted out, rusted out. So I asked them to cut the rust out, weld a new piece in there, put that bracket back in, do the cylinder repair, adjust the air brakes on it while they had it there, replace that bulkhead bracket for the beacon light. There was another light on the bulkhead that was also shorting out along with that, bulkhead being rotted out. And then there was a spreader light that was shorting out. Repair that bulkhead, remove and reinstall the cylinder, repack the cylinder. Well, the price of $1,332 was what they gave me an estimate to do all that. Once they got into the truck and got the itself, the piston rod, need to be sanded down, re-chromed, and then the other part, the cylinder itself that the rod goes in and out of, needs to be honed. And that was gonna be some extra, about $350 to $400 to do that. So I was asking for a PO of $1,800 just to cover everything there to get that truck back up and going, because we're gonna need that truck for using our, that's our 2007 dump truck, and we're gonna be using it with the burning box when we start doing our road repair and stuff.
Okay.
I hope to have that back the end of this week, so.
All right, do we need a now and then since the work's being done, or,
Well, it hasn't been built yet, so
but the truck's there, right?
truck's there, being
So-
worked on. but it
No,
hasn't
we
been-
don't.
Okay. I'll make a motion for a PO in the amount of $1,800 to Beamer's P-Back Sales and Service for repairs of lighting issues and hydraulic issues on the 2008 International 7400 truck.
2007.
It's got 2008 written on here. Is it a 2007? On your bid, it says 2008.
That is in 2008.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes?
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I know I'd said I've always done this before, but I wanted to put it before you guys. Do we want, it'd probably take about 225 tons to fill the salt shed back up. Do we want to fill that now, or do we want to take a chance and see if the salt prices are cheaper when they put the new contract out? Because if I'm going to fill, I have to do that before I have to place my order before April 30th.
What are we paying now, 65 a ton?
68.
68 a ton?
What kind of ranges in prices do you normally see?
We've seen as high as $70 to $80 a ton before. Right now, we're 68. Kind of been around the 74 to 78 for the last several years until this year, and it did drop to 68. But that's, one of the reasons for that is the year before, we didn't hardly have a winter. They had huge stockpiles sitting down on the river, so they had an abundance of salt.
Yeah.
So
It's-
that really cut the price down.
It's a crapshoot, because a couple of years we gained by doing it, and a couple of years we lost by doing it.
So what's the stockpile on the river look like now? Is it
Right now, it's still pretty good size.
really?
So this time of year, they are not bringing any more salt up the river that I'm aware of, not right now. They usually wait till summertime before they start, restocking the stockpiles for obvious reasons, river flooding, so.
So how much salt you got right now stockpiled?
Probably about 200.
So it's enough to get us through anything the rest of this
If we could have.
spring, we have more snow than we did all winter.
They didn't even use, each truck carries about 9 ton on them. They probably use half a truckload each truck on Saturday. That's all they use for that. And then, the time before, we probably used maybe 18 ton, 19 ton for that time. We went out, so we haven't been, that's a good thing about this time of year. You usually don't have to use much because the ground's somewhat warm, and usually as fast as it snows, it melts back off on its own. So that's in our favor right now. I wouldn't anticipate having to use,
Oh,
when we use a lot of salt is when we have an ice storm. That's when you really use it. And I don't anticipate a serious ice storm with this time of year with as warm as the ground's been and stuff. And now they're saying the next 10 days is all rain, so I'm getting pretty confident we're in the clear, so.
So what's your recommendation?
Well, that's what I'm asking you guys. I mean, my recommendation is I've always done it, always have it full, because I was always told before, not this group of trustees, was always told, always have the salt barn full. That way we're ready to go for next winters.
Let's go ahead and
Say that's what we've always done.
make a motion. Make a motion that, go ahead and fill the salt bins up.
Let's say it's 225 ton at, the $68 a ton to make our PO out for that.
I think I've still got enough on the PO to cover it.
Okay.
I don't think I
We
need a
don't
new
need a
PO.
motion.
So
there's
we're
still
good
enough
then.
out there.
I'll make that call tomorrow and get that
Good.
ordered. Then tomorrow I'm going to Columbus for that sign grant, for that mandatory meeting you have to go to in order to be eligible for the sign grant. Basically, they sent me a packet, I've got that packet, I have to take everything in that packet with me. I have to also take the crash reports from the last 2 years with me, which I have all them. Take all that up, and they explain to me how the process works. They tell you how to go about ordering the signs, how to go about filling out the proper paperwork, and the do's and don'ts. So that's basically what it all is.
So is this, do we have to outlay the money first and then the grant reimburses us, or?
I'll find that out tomorrow. I don't know that for sure.
All right.
And then, last thing is I'm going up to use, or we've been using the Durapatch on the dead end of South Wire on State Line. And just for your guys' information, some of State Line, some of the Durapatch work that I did was on Indiana's portion, because they've come out through a little bit of cold patch, but the potholes were horrible. I mean, it was like craters. And I was getting phone calls, and I was instructing all these people to call Franklin County, and Franklin County seemed like they was patching all the other potholes all around the area. It wasn't doing anything with those, so I took it upon myself to fix the really, really bad ones, just because a lot of our residents go across that section of roads.
That's fine. We kind of share responsibility for snow plowing too. They do part, we do part, so that's fine.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else for Rob?
Nope, thank you, Rob.
Mrs. Reinhardt?
Okay, first, the Okeana General Store, which is the new store going in where the village store used to be. I've got notification from the state that they have applied for a liquor permit. I have to let the state know if we request a hearing or not. So I need to know from you guys whether you want a hearing on this permit.
I say no.
Say no.
Nope.
Okay, I'll get that in the mail tomorrow. I also received from the state that everyone that already has a liquor permit, everything is going to expire on June 1st of 2018. And they want to know if we want to contest, any of the permit holders that we already have.
Do you have a list of them?
No, and I tried to go on the website to get the list, and I couldn't get it to work. Dale and I talked about this. It's the Country Barrel, the gas station, the Kayata, St. Al's, and what was the other?
MRA.
What's Marker Ball?
Yeah, the MRA, we've.
MRA, we forgot that one.
MRA, yeah. we
Um,
forgot that one.
Seems like there was one more, but I can't think of what it
I
would
think
be.
that's it.
And then I guess the village
The
store
two
had one, but
stores,
yeah.
yes.
So, and I'm not aware of any problems. I've not heard anything. Have you, Jeff? Okay.
Nope. I have no contestant of any of them.
I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, but if they issue a alcohol permit for the village store next to the Country Barrel, will it be in effect for 2 or 3 months until June 1st? And then will they require a new?
I
New
don't know.
outlet?
I wouldn't think so, but I
think
don't
so.
know.
That's the state.
Yeah, it's totally the
All they
the
are
state.
asking us is if we have any contestants, if we want to take it to a hearing, and usually we've not had
Well,
any problems to
why
even
would
take
a-
it there.
Why would a new license be up for renewal that quickly?
Well, if I'm reading this, it says all liquor permits in our township will expire June the 1st.
All the ones that are in place
Place,
now.
All the ones that are in place now,
But
that
if we-
already have a permit.
Right, but if we get a permit issued for the village
For the,
store within the
Okeana
next
General
month
Store?
or two, then
I
that's.
wouldn't, I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't think they would only issue like a 3-month permit.
What's the term of the permit? Is it
I
a
can't
year?
answer that either.
More than likely, they'll follow suit with us all the way to the next year.
It seems to me like we just did this like a year ago.
That's what I thought we did.
So they must be for a year.
So it's
I
probably-
believe every year.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we don't have any problems with that either.
Do you know what,
Okay.
do you know what the cost of a liquor license
I don't
is?
have any idea. Okay, CareWorks Comp, it's time for us to renew our enrollment with them. They are the ones that kind of help us monitor our workers' compensation claims. As far as I'm concerned, and I think the chief will back me up on this, they are invaluable when you have a question. I know when I have any questions about BWC, I just call Andy Frank at CareWorks, and he's walked me through several things that I wasn't sure how to do when I came into this position. They help us get rebates on our cost for BWC also. So in my personal opinion, it's worth the $856 to renew, to have them help monitor. They make sure we get the training classes that we need. That's why Rob and I are going at the end of April, because we're required to do that. And they do the class here in Cincinnati, so we don't have to travel to Columbus. So I just need, I don't need a PO, I just need your approval to go ahead and renew that.
I'm good with that.
Okay. I do need, an approval on a PO to the Butler County EMA for $2,222.22 for, our share of the Butler County EMA cooperative agreement. This is something that we pay every year. It has went up just a little bit, about $14, Chief. I looked at last year's.
It'd have to be residents because.
Yeah, 'cause
per
it's-
capita is still
it's
39 cents per person.
Yeah, so it is per capita. So I just need,
So moved.
Second?
okay, Mr. Updike,
Yes.
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Motion carried. And then I do need executive session for personnel reasons relating to wages.
Okay, can do that at the end if you're all
Yeah,
right with
that's
that.
fine.
Anything else? That's it?
That's it.
Anything else for Connie?
That's it.
All right, Mr. Cole,
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Brucker.
I got two things. First, on our contact page on our website, received a complaint from a resident, and it was very, very vague on, he did sign his name, but he didn't give me an email address or a phone number. I got two phone numbers tonight, tried to call, and neither one was disconnected, and the other one, it just didn't go through. But he's complaining, we did find out, Connie and I searched, and we did find out that he lives on California, close to 129 at the intersection. And he's complaining that a farmer on 129, I suppose, that on the Riley Township side, is spreading human waste manure as opposed to animal manure. And apparently, he's getting this from Butler County. This, I don't know what waste disposal site. Like I said, it's very vague. He said he's contacted the Butler County Health Department, the Butler County Commissioner, and he got no resolution. So he wants to know if it's legal and if there's any harm that could, because he's downhill, if it could affect his fish in his pond, and are the fish no longer able to be eaten or consumed? And anyway, so I got some more work to do on digging to find out and make contact with this person. He also sent me a link to an article that explains all the hazards of human waste being spread over land. Apparently, it's a common occurrence that farmers are using human waste as opposed to animal waste. Don't know. I just wanted to bring it out there that if anybody had any information, any farmers that might be in the audience, or anybody that, yeah, that's common, we do it all the time, or not. I've not heard of human waste. I've definitely heard of animal waste. I've heard of lime and that kind of thing. Go ahead.
Number one, I know the farmers haven't put on there, it's a Moorhead farm on the Riley side.
Okay.
It is coming from the Butler County Metropolitan Sewer District, probably from either their Westchester facility or the Swordsville facility. They go and put it on farms all over the county, even outside the county. They have their own equipment that they spray started dumping there yet. I know they had a loader set up there. And we've had it done in Morgan Township before, but I don't know of any farmers that have done it in the last 5 years, but there was one out on, the Meanover farm on California 126. He had it put on in every field that he has, but that was several years ago. I don't know, besides Mr. Meanover, I don't know of anybody else right offhand. I know back in 1988, 89, something like that, there was some, they was wanting to make a landfill down Howard Road, and that had a bunch of people all fired up. They wasn't gonna spread it, they were just gonna make an actual landfill to take human waste and dispose of it out there. And that was stopped. I think that's kind of one of the reasons how zoning come into play, if I'm not mistaken.
Darrell?
Yeah, years ago, you remember, the Stitzel farm?
Yeah, that's right, Stitzel also.
They started to put it on there, and we got a group of people up together, and more or less we stopped it by protest, and is what we did. But it came from Harrison, from their treatment plant. And, I mean, I brought a bunch of facts up and showed them that, you know, their workers at their plants have to get hepatitis shots. It's very, you know, things in there are very contagious, and it's, like you said, it's supposed to be plowed under once. That's what the Harrison people, of course, they didn't do it. And, so it stunk and it smelled, and it's worse than the waste that you get from Fairfield's already treated. But I don't know I've never heard what Hamilton puts out there, but Fairfield's waste is, very treatable. You can't smell it. It's, like I say, it's plausible to put on the ground, but stuff that come out of Harrison, they finally gave up, and they started dumping it over in Westchester somewhere. But the problem was there, I asked them, why don't you dump it here? You got plenty of farmland out here in Harrison. They didn't dump it on one site in Harrison, they come over to Butler County and dumped it because they just knew they'd get a bunch of complaints and didn't figure they'd get much out of Morgan County, which they did, and then, like I said, it stopped. But there was something else besides,
No,
but,
it is human waste, but it's been treated somehow. I don't know how they treat it or what they do. I know it goes through some sort of filtration and aeration system at their wastewater treatment plants, and then the sludge is put in and it goes through some sort of press that forces all the water out of it and makes what they call a cake.
That through the filter press.
So, I mean, it's got some sort of filter press that's supposed to take a lot of the heavy metals out and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be safe, but it is still human waste. It's,
Sue Vance at Butler County Water and Sewer. She's the assistant director, she should know.
Sue Vance, V-A-N-C.
V-A-N-C,
Okay.
is who you wanna contact there, and she'll.
She's with
probably-
Butler
she doesn't
County
know.
Sewer?
She's Butler County Water and Sewer, she's their assistant director. If she doesn't have the answer, she'll know who to point, cause she over that Swordville and the other plants, so.
So it is the Moorhead Farm?
yes.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. That helped me, then I can pursue and get back with the gentleman. The only other thing I had was looking over the calendar, when we scheduled all the trustee meetings out for the year. The first, it's actually the second Tuesday of the month, the first meeting for the month of May is May 8th, which is Election Day. So we cannot have our trustee meeting because the hall is used by the Board of Elections. So we either have to cancel that meeting or reschedule it.
May 8th.
May 8th. So we can either make it the 15th, or we can go in the last Tuesday of April, or, well, it'd be May 1st, I guess. It'd be the first Monday or Tuesday in May.
What day did you say it was?
May
Oh,
8th.
May 8th.
Tuesday, May the 8th.
Too.
I just want to get it out. If we change it, I want to get it out on the website so people know. So we
You
can
wanna
either
wait
go,
and
we
see
can go
what
May,
we got in April?
we can go May 1st, or we can go May 15th, or we can go, if May 10th or May 9th, Wednesday is not a problem, we can do it on Wednesday night. We just need to get it out. So
How soon do they move those voting machines?
They'll come in Monday.
Morning, and they're going Wednesday morning.
Gotcha.
have to decide tonight, but I'd like to know fairly soon so I can put it on the website, unless you want to make a change tonight.
Tom, any good, any evening's fine for me, open except Wednesday, that'd be a bad night. If we could stay away from that,
You want to do Tuesday, May 1st?
that'd be fine by me.
Is that going to hurt you?
It won't hurt, I mean, we're doing back-to-back weeks,
Yeah.
so you gentlemen are
We may
probably
have to
gonna have to
come
come in and sign checks, because the first is not gonna catch the beginning of the month bills.
Would May 15th be better than we're going to have
Yeah, you're still
back-to-back?
gonna have to, because there's a lot of things that are due May 10th.
Do we just cancel the meeting and then we come in and sign checks?
Why don't we revisit at the next meeting, see if we got a lot going on. If we don't, we just cancel. If we need to, we'll reschedule.
Either way, we're going to have to come in that week.
Either way, you're
Either
gonna
way,
have
we're
to
gonna
come
come
in
in and
extra and
sign
sign checks, yes.
Okay.
But if we got a lot going on, then we reschedule. If we don't, we just skip that one, move there and sign checks.
Okay, we can just get back next week,
Okay.
next meeting.
Okay.
The other thing I had was, there was a request from a person in attendance at the meeting, of publishing our minutes before they're actually approved. And we said we couldn't do that, we had to have them approved, and once they get approved, then we can put them on. But the problem is, it's every 2 weeks we approve, so the minutes are 2 weeks old. In the zoning case, it's every month, so the minutes are 30 days old. It's before they're approved and published and put on the website. So the suggestion was, can we just put them out and like highlight them with draft across it, so at least people can read them and have some idea what's going on. And I remember when I went to the OTA the first year, it said that as soon as they were published, they were public record. Connie went to a training Wednesday, and she heard the same thing. So I just want to put it out to the other trustees, give me direction. Do we publish them and make people aware of what's going on more, sooner than we, after we approve them, or do we wait and do it the way we're doing it every 2 weeks for trustee meetings and up to 30 days? I know the BZA, when I was on it, we didn't meet sometimes for 8 months.
Yeah.
So the meetings for our last meeting didn't get approved.
Yeah, well, the February 18th or January 18th meeting of the BZA in 2017 wasn't approved until this year,
Right.
so.
Is there a way you can put draft?
We
in
can do
the
that.
letters?
I
can- we
went in
And
and,
then once it's approved here, we take the draft off.
yes.
We could do that.
Draft
Yeah.
watermarks.
Yeah, it's like a watermark.
Yeah.
Well, a watermark, or, you can just put in a different color draft across the top, and when I do the meeting minutes, it puts draft across every page when I put it in the header. And, I'm sure we could figure out how to do it for your minutes too.
I'm not worried, I can put watermarks
Yeah.
on mine.
Yeah,
Or if Dale can show me how to do the watermark, we can do that too.
and then we just pull that off.
And pull it off once they're approved, and I'll send it to you again, and,
Yep, then we'll,
and, yeah.
and I can, denote it on the minutes that it's a draft.
Right.
And when it's permanent. Is that okay with
What,
everyone?
didn't you just say that as soon as you put a draft copy out, it becomes official record?
As soon as it's produced, so as soon as Carol gets it to me and I put it in the format that we need, as soon as that's done, it's public record, whether it's been out to anyone or not. As soon as it's produced, it's public record.
So as soon as it's produced and you put draft across it, it's public record?
I don't even have to put
We
the,
don't have to put draft on it.
that was just a suggestion that they made at the training that I was in, if you.
Draft's basically saying it's not approved by the board yet.
Right,
Once
that there
it's
could be
approved by the
changes.
board, you remove the draft, and then if there's any changes, it's changed, and if there's not, it's there. But that way, if you read it and it's got draft on it, you know it wasn't approved.
Have we ever been asked for minutes this quickly after meetings?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, all the time.
Then that's,
Especially on the zoning side.
Yeah,
Zoning's the
especially-
biggest thing.
Biggest.
Yeah.
We never had zoning minutes at all, and we just started putting them on the website now under the zoning tab.
okay.
For the last 2 years, we've put the minutes out for the trustee meetings. But Okay, with draft or?
I'm all right, put the draft on there, and then once
Put
they're
the draft
approved in the meeting,
watermark
we
on it or some
remove
way
the
to
watermark.
note-
Okay,
Denote that it's draft, and then we'll remove that once it's approved.
okay.
Okay.
And
Thank
you
you.
may put a disclaimer at the bottom on the website, draft minutes are not approved by the board yet.
Okay. I can do that.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, I got a text message from, Mr. Matt Young. I guess he's wanting us to do, wants to know why we don't blacktop and thinks we should do all blacktop and shouldn't do any double chip seal. Had some conversation, kinda explained some of the reasons why we do the double chip seal over the blacktop, and it comes down to price. And with the money that we have and the budget we can use, cause roughly 100 to 150,000 is a good year of spending on doing road repair. Well, if you're doing double chip seal, about 45,000 a mile, you can do almost 3 miles. We have close to, just shy of 32 miles in the township. It's 31 point, I don't remember the exact number, but just shy of 32.
It's 30.9.
30.9.
Is it 30.9? It's shy of 31 now, but it's right in that range. So if you're doing 3 miles of double chip seal, you should be getting to the roads roughly once every 10 years. If you do the blacktop, with the budget and what we spend, you're gonna be doing the roads once every 30 years, basically. I know he threw out a number, well, why don't you just spend 500,000, put aside for blacktopping every year? I don't think he realizes we don't have that kind of money to spend on it, so. That was said, it was related, I put that back out. And if, other thing, you guys get the legislative alerts. Have you read all the things on that House Bill 500? Because it's a lot to deal with the township. If you haven't read it, probably need to read it. There's a lot of things dealing with us. That's basically all I had.
It's one of the things that they're saying in House Bill 500.
Election of the board of, elect of a board chairman, requires the board trustees to elect the board chairman at the first meeting each year. Inventory that goes to the township, they're trying to remove that, or I mean to the county, where you have to do that every year, they're trying to eliminate that. Removal proceedings of fire personnel, they're changing how that works.
There's a lot of different things in it.
Yeah, obligations incurred under thresholds, they're moving it from that $2,500 to $10,000.
I'll send you.
There's a whole,
Rob.
and if you want this copy, you're welcome, cause I've got it on email. I didn't make it for everyone, I assume you get it, if you don't get it, I'll forward it to you. Vacation, or vacate, I can't even say it right, vacating of a township road, different procedures on that. Approval of a township road name change, changing that. Then it goes into like the oil and gas wells, which we don't have here. So there's quite a few different things.
Anything that pertain to funding of the townships, if they're trying to change any of that.
There's zoning issues on here, there's actually 4 tabs underneath that.
I think I have that,
You have that?
yeah.
And if you don't, I'll give you the copy. And if not, you need executive?
Yes.
Oh, one thing I'll bring up, Tom Wilsey, trustee for Ross
Oh,
Township.
yes.
His mother passed away. I think the funeral and everything was yesterday. But, just for your information, I think she was 94. So, okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion at 8:18 to go to executive session for personnel with pay, for wages.
I'll second that.
Mr. Updike,
Yes?
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
motion carried.
Let me go Get the tape off.
Ready?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to come back out of executive session at 9:16 PM.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
We are back in session.
All right, we're gonna request Chris Brucker to look at locks, similar to what you're putting in at the firehouse for the community center. So,
Okay.
Those two new doors that are going up front are gonna have the same holes.
Is there
as their
a
house.
motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Updike?
Yes.
We are adjourned.